the way we to look at Jatra is it's very simple on the front end, but it's a beast on the back end. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes so that you don't have to figure out things.
Very nice.
Hey everyone, I'm Todd Nilson and I've been working as a community strategist since 2013. I'm starting a new video series where I'm walking through community platforms with the people who build them. But here's what makes this different. These aren't your typical marketing demos. Community platforms are a major investment. In each of these episodes, you'll get a real walkthrough of a platform with someone who knows it inside and out. But you'll also get my perspective as someone who's been through dozens of platform evaluations and launches. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. So let's figure out which community platforms are actually worth your time.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you may happen to be. You've tuned in to Talk About Your Community. I'm Todd Nilson with Clocktower Advisors, your host for this series. And in this very special series, we are looking closely at community platforms of all types. As part of my research, I've identified over 140 community platforms out in the internet, on the interwebs, in the wild. And so that means there's a lot of choices for organizations that are trying to figure out what's the right path for them, for their use cases. And so I'm doing this series as a way to acquaint you with some tools that you may know about or ones that you have not run into before. Today is no exception. I am extremely happy to be welcoming to the show Kaustubh Katdare, who is the founder of Jatra, a community platform you may not have heard of before. And so welcome to the show, Kaustubh. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, Todd. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
I am super happy to be having these kinds of conversations because I'm learning a lot in the course of going through this. I've done work on multiple implementations, migrations, configurations, and restarts of online communities over the years. Talking to someone new, I always get new perspectives on what an effective community platform is. And so I always kind of like to start out by asking a little bit about your background and what got you interested in building a community platform like Jatra.
Sure. So I've been in the community space for almost 20 years. I built my first community back in 2005. I was employed with an IT company, and I thought I had this crazy idea that I would create a space where engineers interact with each other, solve problems, and help each other. And I couldn't find any such community online. And the natural reaction was that I would create one. And I did. And over the next several years, I grew it organically, spent nothing in advertising or marketing. I focused purely on organic growth through SEO and getting traffic from Google and people telling their friends about the community. It grew very big. I was able to build a very successful lifestyle business around the community. And during this journey, I experimented with lots and lots of platforms. I built several communities on the side. And every time I had a very frustrating experience. And I had in the back of my mind that there has to be one platform that solves these common problems that I face almost on a daily basis. And during COVID times, when everyone was locked in their homes, I created a prototype of the platform. I migrated one of my communities onto it, and it worked really well. Around 2024, I thought maybe I should open up this platform to a larger audience and see how it works for them. And so we launched Jatra in 2024, and so we launched it as a SaaS where anyone can build their own community on the platform. It's been doing very well. So that's been my journey so far.
That's really amazing. And if I could ask, Jatra, what's behind the name? What does that mean?
Well, Jatra comes from a Marathi Hindi name, which is typically used as a reference to a village side fair. So typically for religious reasons, but it's a happy place where people from around villages gather and have good times. So that's the name. I wanted a very brandable name. I have been into marketing for a long time. So I wanted a very brandable name. That is not very common. For most of the world, Jatra means nothing. But once they get to know the story behind it, they appreciate what we are creating.
I love that so much on a personal basis, because it's similar to the concept behind Clocktower. The Clocktower, sort of the thing that was over the village square and the place where people would come to market and meet one another. And so I feel like we're cousins in that way with what you're trying to do. Really love that. Like a meeting place between villages is amazing as an idea as well. So as you've brought this this platform to market, who has been your ideal customer profile so far, or have you found one, like who is buying the product, who likes it at this point?
Sure. So we are super focused on businesses that take community very seriously, and we have found that the B2B SaaS operators are our prime target. So that's our ideal customers, where we work with founders and marketers at these companies um, who want to build customer communities or niche communities around the topics they operate or the domains that they operate in. So that's our prime focus for Jatra. And but we have seen some interesting use cases where we have helped individual founders launch their community, a very interesting D2C brand, adopt our platform. And there have been very interesting use cases that we are exploring. And so focus remains on B2B SaaS businesses.
That's terrific. And so I always try to ask, like, is there an outlier business that has signed on to Jatra that you would have never expected, but is maybe doing some cool stuff?
Well, yes. So we are currently in the process of creating a community built around psychedelics, and I have no experience in that field.
Interesting.
And there is an operational community in the blockchain domain. There is one community in the IT support domain. There is one community that is being formed where women are working towards helping each other. It's a very new concept for me, and it's a new great learning experience for me as well. So very interesting use cases have come up, but the playbook that we have built over the past 20 years works across all these communities.
That's amazing. And I think it's a testament to the flexibility of a platform, as you see people that are coming in that you maybe didn't expect would be like a key user of that experience, and yet they're finding ways to make it work for themselves. That's very powerful. Well, thank you for the overview. I know we're going to get more into sort of the nuts and bolts of the organization and what it costs to get the software by the end of the presentation here, but I always like to kind of jump in as quickly as we possibly can. So why don't we try to do a screen share, and we'll get you set up here to show us around the platform a little bit. This is great. This is your demo community?
This is our official Jatra community. This is the community for community builders, and it also acts as a platform where we support our customers and also share product updates. So it's basically one place that does everything: user acquisition, retention, and keeps our customers updated.
So as I kind of look around, it's a very clean layout. Left-hand navigation, something I'm kind of accustomed to seeing. Posts that in the center section here. I see we've got posts and activities as an organization scheme here. Can you maybe talk a little bit about the difference between those two?
Okay, so these are the post filters. So you can have filter the central feed. You can have trending post, most replied, scheduled post, and reported post. Because I'm the admin, I get whenever some member reports a post, I get a little bubble here, so that tells me someone has reported a post. Activities is all the site-wide activities happening on the community. This is like an open log of all the activities that are happening throughout the site.
Very nice.
You can filter out by simply having my activity. So this shows all the activities that I have done.
Really nice. And then I can see all the recently active members here, and there's a nice little about block for someone coming to the community for the first time can see what it's all about. Really nice, really nice. Can I trouble you to click on your personal profiles so we can just sort of see what that looks like as well?
So it says view profile, and it says currently this is like the version 1 of the profile where we have basic information. This icon is basically an indicator that I am the admin and owner of the community. And then we have a very simple activity feed. If you click on any, it will take you to the exact post or the reply. And you can sort, you can, of course, look all the activities that I've done on the platform. Of course, I have access to edit profile. It's a simple edit, a simple form where you can edit all the information. But let me show you how, when I see other person's profile, I get access to this button where I can create a direct message with them. So if I create, this is a simple message between me and one of the members. This is, we did when we just launched the feature. And so this is how it is. So if I click on any member and then I have not created a message, when I send a message, they can accept or reject it. So it gives you complete control on who can send you messages, and if you want to block someone, if you want to continue a discussion with someone, you can do that.
Very nice. At a high level, I'm wondering too, do you have a dedicated mobile app around this experience, or is it just a native responsive design?
So there is one problem with having a native mobile app, because we offer Jatra as a white label community platform. So each customer will have to submit their own application in the App Store. So that is challenging, and we don't have any customer who has requested a dedicated mobile app as of now. But the platform itself works on every device. So it is mobile. So it is a responsive layout, and I'll show you a demo. So if I load mobile layout, automatically adjusts itself to, so you can do all the activities right in the mobile layout.
Very clean.
And it works across all the devices, iPads, large screens as well.
Really great, really great. Well, I know we're going to dig into some of these areas. I know we never have enough time to go over all the features of a platform, but I'm wondering maybe if we can focus our discussion on maybe a couple of the features or functionalities that you feel have really stood out for customers who said, like, either, hey, this is the reason we're getting the platform, or things that you're particularly proud of that the platform does that you think are differentiators in the marketplace.
Well, sure. So the biggest differentiating feature is the multi content types that we offer natively. And what I mean by that is a single platform gives you access to discussions, SEO optimized articles, you can have a complete job board running within the community. You can have quizzes, and I'll show you a demo. So for example, this is a regular discussion, and I'll show you. So I think I'll go to discussions. And this is a regular discussion where one post is followed by replies. Then if you go to Community 101, this is a complete blog solution. So if you look at this, this is a completely SEO optimized article. And I want to spend a moment on this. So when you create an article, it presents you with a different form.
Mm-hmm.
If you create a discussion, it presents you with a simpler form. And this is our way of getting data in a very structured way. And why do we do that? Is because we are heavily focused on SEO. I'll show you how we do that. So for example, if you want to create a quiz, you get a very different form where you can create a quiz. And this is how a quiz works. So for example, if you want to so let's play this. I click on play, and you will see a countdown timer. And let's say I click on Slack, but the right answer is Discord, and it gives me explanation. It also tells me what my time was. And if I go to leaderboard, it also, if I answered it correctly, I would get a place on the leaderboard. Only 20 entries can be on the leaderboard. So it's little gamification that we have added to the community. And we are always working on new post types. So a moment on post types is, the idea is that you should be able to create a hub where you have articles, discussions, feedback, quizzes, and everything. So if your community doesn't need it, don't enable it. Super simple. Everything is modular. So for example, a SaaS community wants feedback. So this is our own mechanism to collect feedback. You get all these upvotes. This
Really
is
nice.
different.
So if I'm trying to collect ideas to improve my SaaS experience, I would create this feedback forum, and as people provide information or feedback, hey, this feature isn't working, or I've got an idea for another feature, they can come in here and upvote and comment on whatever's here. Nice.
Correct. Now, if I have to publish updates, all the updates, the common terminology is called changelog. So we have platform updates where we can publish all the updates. And now this is version 1. Version 2 will automatically send emails to all the people who have shown interest in these updates. So it's completely modular. It completely changes the way communities are built. And I will quickly show you one community that is using our job board feature. This is one of the communities, and if you can see, this is a community called Art of Blockchain, and it uses our job board. So this is a job board integrated within the community, natively supported. So you can see people can apply. I need to be logged in to apply to this job board. So imagine a community of community builders, or let's say, for example, a community of marketing professionals. Now you would, if you want to showcase the latest jobs from the industry, you don't have to install a separate job board. It has to be a part of the community experience. That's what we believe in. So if you want to conduct an event, online event for the community, you should be able to do that within the community, because ultimately you are catering to the same audience, and it makes no sense to send them to different places on your website or different software just to keep them engaged. So Jatra's core feature or core belief is that you should be able to build multi-content communities that go beyond discussions and chats.
Really interesting. And I've only seen in my survey of community platforms a handful of communities that actually offer some kind of job board functionality. Often it lets you post the job, but when you click apply, then it's redirecting you elsewhere for those roles. But it sounds like you're actually managing the application process through Jatra itself.
Not complete. So we do redirects, but the idea is you should be able to post jobs for your community members within the community itself.
Sure,
so
of course.
Having a complete job application, so complete application tracking system within the community, that's not our goal. But the idea is that if the company wants to promote their own job postings, they might better hire from their own community. And we did it in one of the communities where we hired from our own communities. So it's basically the modular nature of Jatra that allows you to do that. So as I said, you can collect feedback and host quizzes. We are working on a feature called Rooms, where you would be able to have all the Discord or Slack functionality right within the community. So if you want to enable unlimited number of chat rooms, you'll be able to do that. And we are hoping to launch that in the next 4 to 5 weeks.
Really interesting. So that would be, as opposed to this asynchronous kind of posting, you would have something that's semi-synchronous, like a Slack or like a Discord, where I could have just regular chats occurring.
If you remember Yahoo chat rooms, we are modernizing them.
Very nice, very nice. That's great. Oh, so you've covered two things so far. One is the real SEO focus that this platform has, and then the very flexible content types that you've got. What else are some standout features?
So as I said, multi-content communities is the standout feature, and it lets us create all these different types of communities, and that is the USP. Other than that, we mostly community platforms will offer similar kind of features. Our focus is on keeping things simple, where we don't want you to be deciding on what to do. And we want you to have very less cognitive load when you're operating a community. That's the goal. So everything you see is super simple. The layout itself has been developed after looking at so many communities, talking to lots and lots of community managers. And we settled on this layout. The overall approach of building Jatra was to keep things simple. And the goal is to have just one or two people be able to manage large, very large communities. And one of the things that we are currently working on is AI moderation, where the AI will take care of most of the common tasks that admins and mods do.
That's great. I would love love to see that in action. If you've got anything you can show on that front, I'm always interested in how community platforms are leveraging AI right now, because it's been a mad scramble over the past couple of years to get some of those features into place.
Right now, I don't have a demo because it's all on the development machines.
Oh,
So
got
this is
it.
a
Okay.
live server that I'm demoing right now.
No problem at all. I am curious. Can we take a look under the hood? I'm kind of like an old car enthusiast. I want to open the hood and see what the admin side looks like. What are my options here?
Sure. So admin, again, as I said, our focus is on simplicity, keeping things super simple, and the platform does most of the decision making behind the scenes. So you will have a very simple admin panel. The general settings will let you control the general information about the community. Lets you set up dark mode, light mode, or system based. It lets you set the time zone for your community, description, the dark and light mode logos. Regular options, you can set up custom links in the post filters. That's one of the features. The second one is channels. This is the channel management, and you can configure channels. You can decide who gets to post what. So I'll show you one channel. So for example, announcements. Now, announcements is a channel that needs to be accessible only to the admins and mods. So this is like the regular settings. If I go to channel accessibility, it says public channel. So a public channel means all the content of that channel are open to all the members as well as guests. But if you go to posting permissions, it says restricted posting. So restricted posting means only the admins will have access. Because I'm the admin, admins have unrestricted access throughout the community. So their names won't even show up here. So you can select who gets access to what. I can create a private channel, and the contents of that channel will be hidden for everyone. So for
Sure.
example, let me quickly
So if
show
I
you.
had a private work group, I could set it that just they would get those notifications or updates.
Yeah, so it shows, so you can see that it shows a simple lock, and which indicates it's a private channel. So any guest or any member who has not been invited to that channel won't have access to the contents. However, there's we go one step ahead. So even in a private channel, if you want to control who has posting rights, so for example, let's say if you have, let's say, a mod group where you and only mods have access, and you want to be able to give writing permissions only to one or two people, you can do that simply by customizing. So for example, we go to channel settings, we go to announcements, permissions, and you can say it's a restricted posting and just add the names. So it will be a private channel with restricted posting. So it gives you basically very fine control of who can post in the community, who has access to the community, and so on.
Got it. Great.
Then we have the member management. I won't be able to open it because it shows member data.
Of course.
So member settings would let you export, view who is joining, how many, basically all the data that your members have. So their email IDs and all.
How do members get added to the platform? Do you have a registration page, or do I invite them by email? Like, what are my options there?
So 99% of the members find our community through SEO searches or from referrals from ChatGPT and Perplexities. When they land on the community, they can simply click on sign up button. I'll show you a demo in a minute, but can we spend some time, or do you want to go to the sign up process?
No. We can hit it in your own time. Yeah, let's sure. Continue looking at the.
Quickly go through the UI customization. This is one of the key features that we have. So we have default themes, Jatra default and Slate Aurora. You can create your own themes. All you need to do is open Customizer, and it opens up this Customizer window. So this is the panel that is UI customizer, and you can almost change every aspect of the look and feel of the community. And you can see the changes in real time. So for example, if I want to change the color of breadcrumbs, I can do that. Content cards, I can change everything, and so on. So you can do a lot of customization on the UI front. You can save the themes. And because I am the admin, I get to create system themes as well.
Really
So
nice.
it's a very interesting way of customizing your look and feel of the community.
I love the real-time preview of that. You don't always get that with a community platform that you're configuring. You've often got to sort of save it and then look at it, and and some of the enterprise platforms will take the tack of you have to like create it in staging and then push it to a production version, and it's very kludgy to mess with. So this is elegant as a solution.
So there is a lot to cover here, but it would take about an hour just to explain how it works. So I'll quickly jump through the other settings. This is moderation settings. I go back to settings. In the moderation settings, we have kept it super simple for now, because we are already working on AI moderators that will take care of all the spam, all the negativity, all the trolls automatically, while giving you tight control on what goes onto your community and what is not allowed. So we have a concept called trust window. So if a new member signs up, what we have seen typically across all the communities we have run is that mostly it's easy to stop robots who create spam on the community.
Sure.
They would sign up and post links, images, and fill up the community. Then there is second type of spammers, human spammers. So mostly from countries, I don't want to name the countries, but they have like farms of people just tasked with adding spam links onto forums. And we get a lot of attacks, similar attacks. So what we have done, our solution is super simple. We have a trust window. So this is customizable. So for the 3 days after the user signs up, they will be monitored. So system won't let them add links. System won't let them add images. And we also have this profanity filter that filters out words automatically. And you can have some banned domains, and anyone signs up with that domain, they won't be allowed. They will get an error right at the sign up. The next one is analytics. This is where currently in beta, where we are improving this almost on a daily basis. We are talking to our customers, and our goal is to create really a KPI focused dashboard and analytics panel that gives you a clean idea of what's happening within your community. So it has regular controls, like you can filter basis on for the period. Then it shows you what's happening within your community, and it divides the entire analytics into different sections. So growth, so how many new members, how many new posts, new replies, how is the daily activity going on. On the engagement front, it shows you different set of parameters. So for example, active members, returning rate, engagement actions, and so on.
I really like return rate. That's quite that's nice to see, and I like how you put it. Sort of like 7 out of 11 are returning to the community. That's a nice way to put it, and especially helping someone trying to figure out, like, is my community healthy? Is it doing the things that it's supposed to be doing? That's a nice check.
So it also shows you active channels, which channels are active, where are you focusing on, where are your members going more, and so on. So these analytics, I believe, you don't get in many of the platforms. Yes, there are a few platforms that do some of it, but this is, again, we are continuously improving basis on the feedback that we are getting from members, because I believe analytics is one of the most important feature of any platform. Mm-hmm. And this is our version 1. We recently launched this. This is still in beta. Hopefully, we'll have the gold release in the next 2 months.
Got it. Quick question for you before you leave this screen. I see that the date range there is the last 30 days. What are my options in that drop down? Oh, good. Granular, full options here, like in Google Analytics. That's terrific. Okay, good to see. The other thing I'll just note before we leave this section is the moderation. Your take on moderation is that's really neat. I like the trust window concept. That's not something I see a lot of. I've kind of seen that in maybe one other platform of those trust levels. I'm not a moderation specialist by any stretch of the imagination, but I like what you built here. This is interesting and a little bit different than what I've seen before.
As I said, our focus is that you should be able to run a very large community with very limited manpower, and the system does a lot of decision making behind the scenes. And this is just a interface where you can control what happens. So, for example, if I could spend some time on the SEO features, so we do all this figuring out of whether the link should be private, should be a follow link, no follow link, whether it's outgoing, whether it's ingoing, and so on. So a lot of decisions are happening behind the scenes, and these are all the best practices in the industry. So we use our knowledge of SEO, growth hacks, and community building, and we've included everything in Jatra so that you get all of it out of the box.
Really, really nice, really nice. So I'm wondering when new members are added to the platform, do you have any kind of automations or onboarding processes or emails that kind of kick off as a result of that?
Right now, we don't, but we are working on it. So automations will be a part of Jatra in the next few weeks, I would say. But right now, we are keeping notifications. Again, notification has been a problem, so we don't want to overload members with emails. Right now, all the customers that we have, none of them have specifically requested for the onboarding features. But we have a few things in our mind where we would keep the user engaged right after they have signed up. So there are a few things I would rather show them once they're ready, but not talk about it right now.
Yeah, and we can always come back and do an update of this as like a briefing, to add to it. I'm always kind of interested in that, and I appreciate the sensitivity to member notifications, because that is something that with many of the platforms, it's easy to get overwhelmed with email notifications or little spammy bell notifications, up in your toolbar there. So totally understanding about that. Can you say a little bit about if I wanted to integrate other tools with the platform, like can I integrate like Zoom meetings or Zapier or like anything that you've kind of built in on that front?
So we are working on APIs that will work with Zapier and all. So right now we don't have it, but you can integrate Google Analytics and product analytics of your choice. So
I did see that. Yes. Yeah. Very nice.
So again, as we are super focused on a specific type of customers as of now, and we are doing everything to help them. So product analytics and Google Analytics, they are their top requirements. Now we are also moving the entire analytics to replace Google Analytics. So what we have seen is Google Analytics 4 has not been very well received by the community. So the goal is to replace Google Analytics and give all the information that people need. So which city is sending me traffic, which country, which pages people are staying on, and all this data. I think we'll replace it with our own native analytics.
Got it.
So, yep, integrations, they're coming soon. As I said, we are not, and Todd, I think I must focus on this, is we are not heavy on features and will never be. And the reason for that is I've seen that platforms offer hundreds of features. And in the reality, 99% of people and even the admins will only use 1% of those features.
Yeah.
And it becomes super confusing. And I don't want to name this platform, but I built my last community with them for a SaaS company that I worked for. And it was super difficult for me to even create a tag or a new channel and have a few people, grant access to a limited set of people. It feels like you need a PhD in community management just to create a new channel. And it was super frustrating. So when we built Jatra, we knew that we won't overload the platform with features. We'll keep things simple, something that solves problem. And if there is a feature request that we believe needs to be in the platform, we'll build it immediately. So just for example, yesterday, I was on a customer call, and our customer told us that in the UI customizer, so when you launch the UI customizer, this little button was placed in this section, and they were not able to find it. So we fixed it and we introduced this button here. Super simple, super useful, and we also posted an update about it. So you can see. So this user had reported it, and we implemented it today.
Very nice.
So feature rollout is super quick.
So I think what's emerging from our conversation here is that Jatra is a lightweight, super clean, easy to configure and launch and run kind of platform that is being driven by customer request, emergent design needs, as they come along. So that's a good way to think about it, for somebody that's thinking about like, hey, I don't need millions of options, for me to think through. Like you said, you don't need somebody with a PhD in community building. I don't think such a thing exists, but you don't need that to be able to get started. Like this is meant to be able to help a SaaS-based organization to get started quickly and to really engage with their customers or their members as quickly as possible. Really nice.
The way to look at Jatra is it's very simple on the front end, but it's a beast on the back end. So
Yeah.
It does a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes so that you don't have to figure out things.
Very nice. Very nice. So with customers you've helped, I'd like to maybe kind of switch gears a little bit because we're getting a little bit low on time here. But with new customers who are coming in, have you had many customers who wanted to migrate data from another platform into Jatra, or is it mostly like new starts for organizations?
Yes, so we have worked with 2 communities that wanted to migrate from very established platforms to Jatra, and we handled the data migration end to end for them. So this is a part of the offering. Pricing plans cover everything unless the platform is super new or super complex or custom built. All the data migration is a part of the onboarding process.
Got it. And so do you have like a dedicated team that is applied to? I don't know how large your organization is. So is there a professional services unit, or is it kind of you and some other folks, or like how does that generally play out for a customer?
We are 3 people team, and we outsource most of the. So we work with contractors. So that we have focused on being a very lean team, and that's how we wanted to build this company. Keep it very lean, stay profitable all the time. So that were the focus areas for us. So our small team is super efficient. We do migration fees, so we handle all the engineering and data migrations. And one of the part of the offering, which is I think one of the main reasons why most customers choose us, is that we build your community with you. So most platforms will just sell the software and then you are on your own, but not with Jatra. So we will roll up sleeves, we work with you to build your community. We'll help you implement the playbooks that we have established for nearly 20 years. We know what works. We know what SEO is, what AEO is, how to seed the initial content, how to get your early users. So all these problems that almost all community managers face, we help you solve those problems, and we work with you.
I mean, I see that as one of your superpowers, that you, because you've come out of this as somebody that has built and run communities, you knew what that product needed to do to be effective and useful. So I really like that. That's great. As far as getting my data out, if I've ever wanted to migrate out of Jatra, is pretty much I can get a data pool whenever I need to.
So this is very important question. Thank you for asking. So getting data into Jatra is easy, but getting data out of Jatra is also easy. So right now we allow you to export member list. It's a self-serve mechanism. In the members tab, I didn't show that to you. So there is an export button. You simply click it and it will give you. You can filter out data if you want just people signed up in the last 30 days. You can filter out them and export the data as CSV. But the entire export, if someone wants to move out of Jatra ecosystem, then we help them do that. So we'll handle everything, the data export. and typically it's done in the CSV format. But
CSV,
there was
ask whether CSV or JSON or something like that. Okay,
someone wanted SQL output as well, so we made an exception for them.
Got it. That's another benefit of working with a small, flexible team to be able to get things done. That's really great.
So all of our customers have my WhatsApp address, so they can ping me anytime, and I respond quickly.
Wonderful. So I was going to ask, average time of an implementation for a new community. About how long does it take? If I contact you today, how long is it until I can turn that community on, would you say?
Sure. So you can launch this. So launching your community is self-serve. It takes about 1 minute to launch your community, but then structuring and actually rolling it out to the outer world, that is done in phased manner. So if you need our help, which is available to all our customers, so we have this playbook, as I said, that guides you through the entire process of launching. So it takes about anywhere between 1 month to 3 months to do it a very proper structured launch of the community.
That sounds right to me. While many of these platforms you can flick a switch and you can have the community sort of turned on, the structuring of the experience, the strategy, the things you're trying to drive, what you're going to measure, how you're going to configure the community experience, how you're going to skin the community. Those are all big questions to consider. And so I definitely appreciate you giving that a timeline. 1 to 3 months sounds about right. And looking at the longer end of that runway for something like a migration, getting the data in there and making sure that it's showing up as expected, is always something to look at. So as we kind of wrap this up, I'll ask some I call them the soup to nuts question here. The organization, I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyways. Do you guys have any sort of private equity funding, or has this been a bootstrap, kind of effort, labor of love? How are you guys structured as a business?
So we are bootstrapped by design and very profitable, and that is how we wanted to build the community and the business around this community. So profitable, bootstrap, very lean team. And there has been some investor interest, but I think as of now, we are very small for any external funding. But that's something we will decide after we reach certain milestone.
Got it. Okay. And then as far as if I'm running a SaaS-based organization and I want to come to Jatra and I want to set up a platform, what am I looking at, order of magnitude as an annual licensing fee? How do you structure that? Is it based on number of users? And again, I'm asking a pricing question. So, maybe that's a range that I'm looking for. Is it hundreds of thousands of US dollars? Is it $1 US? Like where do we fall on the scale here?
Sure. So we are positioned as a premium community platform, and typically the monthly spend would be around mid hundreds. So typically around 300 to 800, where most businesses prefer the small ones. On the enterprise side, it's totally custom pricing because we offer a lot of. So it's what the customer needs, and we customize the pricing on their needs. So again, it's what the way we look at the pricing is that we strongly believe that community is the number one growth asset that any business can own, especially in the SaaS industry. And we've seen this again and again. It can cut down on your CAC. It can help you retain your customers, and nothing really beats community. In the AI world, it's our belief that as AI dominates all the conversations, all the support, people will want to form their own mini groups where they interact with people just like them. And that is why we believe every business has to take community seriously. This is the time to be very serious about communities.
I personally love that sentiment, and I 100% believe that as well. That organizations that aren't thinking about community as part of their go-to-market or the tip of the spear in their go-to-market efforts are missing opportunity to interact meaningfully with their customers, to get ideas, to build advocacy and loyalty to the brand and what they're doing, and to really kind of build that fan base, into something that helps propel that SaaS to its own success over time. So I truly do love that sentiment. I can't believe nearly an hour has gone by here, so very quickly. I'm sure we've just scratched the surface of some of the things that Jatra has to offer. But Kaustubh, it's been a joy spending some time with you over this. I'll just note for anybody that wants to check the platform in a little bit more detail. We've had a QR code here above in the screen. If you just want to scan that with your phone, if you're looking at this on a mobile device, or you can visit the website directly, via that to learn a little bit more about that, or to get a demo scheduled yourself, for the platform. In the meantime, what questions didn't I ask in this interview? Would love to know. Please add them to the comments below. I will do my level best to get answers, and Kaustubh will probably jump in and be happy to answer those as well on our YouTube channel for Clocktower Advisors. In the meantime, let me know if there's other platforms you would like me to look at and do demos of. We're going to continue to do these as long as I've got community platform professionals to talk to. We'll keep adding these to the marketplace. This has actually been coming up with some of the platform creators who I've had a chance to talk with already. They've indicated that, hey, you know what? Our development continues on such a regular basis with this stuff. We might need to do briefings or updates around these. So that's probably going to end up being like a related series to this, briefing updates on the community platforms. And I invite you to that as well, Kaustubh. And as you are rolling out some of the new analytics features, some of the new AI features that you've been talking about, we'll have you back on the show for an update on the latest and greatest. Thank you so much for being on the show. This has been really great.
Thank you, Todd. The pleasure is mine.
All right. And if you would like to talk to me about your choices, if you want to have a one-on-one with that, I would invite you to go to clocktoweradvisors.com and fill out our contact form. I'm happy to sit down with you and have an informal, no commitment chat about your options and what you could do. And soon to come, I will probably be publishing an app on the site as well that will help you, based on your use cases and things that you're trying to drive, narrow down a short list of platforms that you might want to consider to move forward with as well. So stay tuned for that. More to come. In the meantime, please get away from your screen, step out into the fresh air, breathe it in, and feel the sunlight on your skin. You have to take care of yourself. You can't build great communities if you don't. And I will see you back here again very, very soon. Kaustubh, again, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.